Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm coming back at you again with another Sega video. Now, this is a Sega Master System / Power Base. I never knew what this was growing up, and it's funny because I was a huge fan of the Sega Genesis, and I never knew that this system even existed. So this console would have actually competed with the NES back in the day, in the late 80s, and you can kind of guess why it didn't do too well. I don't think Sega was a very big household name at that time, mostly being known for arcade games, but also just look at this. There's simple things that they were kind of figuring out back in the video game days, like they had a pause button on the system itself, and not the actual controllers. And as you can see here, yeah, this is definitely an old school design, very reminiscent of the NES back in the day, just because, well, I mean, I think gaming systems were kind of just leaping out of joystick and button territory, so they're making stuff a lot more compact, like the start button integrated into this button and 1 and 2, and typical D-pad. You see it says Power Base here. That's I think that's what the system was originally going to be called until they decided to go with the Master System / Power Base. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think they changed the name to the Master System / Power Base, so people would be less confused when they have the add-on for the Sega Genesis that kind of just slots in that little cartridge slot that'll play Master System games. I don't know. I really don't know why they called it that, but this is the Sega Master System / Power Base. Today we're going to be cleaning this up and testing it out. I just got this thing for a bargain, and hopefully this thing works because I haven't tested it yet. It's going to be fun, so let's get into it. See if we can't separate this here. Would you have a look at that? Doesn't look too bad. Not exactly sure what this little nick is here, but it kind of looks more like ink than a nick. Not too terrible, all things considered. So now we can go ahead and start removing the screws to remove the RF shielding. Taking care of that. Comes right off. Easy as cake. Yeah, this really is not in that rough a shape at all for being from 1987. And if you look at the board itself, it's really in decent shape. I don't see any corrosion, no capacitors leaked or anything. Let's take these screws out. And that should allow us to just come right out. There we go. This is awesome. We have 2 chips on here, one from NEC, one from Sony. I wonder if that's the audio channel. It'd be awesome if it is. Of course, we got Sega chips as well. And just like the last time, I want to clean these RF shields too, so let's remove these. Look at that. Very beautiful. No corrosion, no damage. Awesome. Just as what's awesome about the Sega Genesis is the same thing with this. No electronics here whatsoever. So let's go and give this a deep clean while we're at it. Alright guys, so we're ready to clean the chassis and the RF shielding here, just like we did with the Sega Genesis. I'm going to be using a mixture of water and simple green. Like I said in that last video, this stuff is awesome. It doesn't cause any corrosion, it's non-toxic, it's not going to warp plastic or anything like that. It's just a great substitute for soapy water, which you can use if you'd like. So let's get started. So now we just rinse off all the simple green and we'll hit it with some compressed air to dry. So we're back looking at the board now, and you can see that we're looking at something that says Sega M4 Power Base, and it's the NTSC version, so maybe it was called the Power Base first. I really need to brush up on my Sega history. But as I said, this board was mostly very clean, but I'd be remiss if I didn't just want to get in there and just make it a little bit better with some alcohol and some cotton swabs. See? Things are not always as they seem. As you can see, there's actually a lot of dust here on the inside, which is a good sign, because that tells me that no one's really messed with it before. So, what I want to do is, I just want to totally sanitize this. So instead of taking the entire pain of cotton swabbing everything, I'm just going to grab my spray bottle of pure alcohol and just make it swim. Just touch up a little bit here and there. I think that's about as deep as it needs to get. I'm going to spray it once more. And now I'm going to hit it with some compressed air to dry it all out. You think the back needs it, guys? I think so. Alright, I think this is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and put it back together and test it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is actually set down the Power Base chassis itself, so we can go ahead and install the bottom RF shielding. Okay, now we can mount this to the actual bottom cover. I'm going to go ahead and take these buttons out and actually go and give these a nice little washing. Okay, so we got the controllers taken apart. I just went ahead and washed them, just kind of just like how we did our chassis on the actual main console itself. Now I'm just going to try and put them back together. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put some alcohol on the actual board contacts themselves. Clean those up just a tad. Hit it with some air. And that also feels good. Awesome. Okay, moment of truth. Awesome. Now you're not going to actually hear any sound from this, woefully because I researched at the very last minute. The cable that I'm using right now is the same kind of port cable for my Genesis, but unfortunately it doesn't actually carry audio because this particular cable was meant to use the stereo audio from the Genesis, which this one does not have. But oh yeah, look at this! Sega! Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and I was just as surprised as you guys when I found out that they made this for the Master System. It's kind of weird. Like, you figure the Genesis is seeing some wild success. Why would they go ahead and make this game compatible for the Master System? Who knows? I can only guess. All I know is I'm really happy that I got this and I've tested it and it's working. Ugh. If you guys can't tell, I've got a long way to go before I can actually settle into playing games like these, because oh my goodness. But anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'm really happy the way this turned out. I'm so excited to play this once I get it all hooked up to my setup at home. It's gonna be awesome. Really hope it helped you guys figure out how to clean your system and overall restoring it so it works nice and new. And if you guys haven't seen it already, I'm using the RGB SCART cable from retrogamingcables.co.uk, so check those guys out if you're looking for the best way to get video and audio, although you can't really see it here, but if you want to get the best kind of output from your console, check them out. The cables are expensive, but they are a one-time buy, and I promise you'll be happy with them once you get them. Like, this picture is just awesome. Anyways guys, I'm gonna go and practice being good at video games because I'm clearly not. Peace out.